Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Now, the question we ended with last time was, are ethics and morality the same thing? Maybe. Let's find out. Well, the quick answer is right there. No. No, they are not. And I realize I'm covering up part of this, so I'm moving myself. There I go. Okay. So ethics is what you should do, and it's determined by what a group or society believes is right. Morality is what you actually do, and it's usually determined by what you believe is right. This is an interesting fact because you can try to be ethical, but sometimes it's impossible to be both ethical and moral, doing what you believe is right and doing what society thinks is right at the same time. For example, maybe you believe it's wrong to drive over the speed limit. Like, you stay at 64 on the highway. It's actually 70. You're like, I'm going to go 64. I'm making sure that I have this barrier to protect myself because I don't want to go over. However, society says you really shouldn't be impeding traffic. That's messing up everybody else, and it's actually kind of dangerous. So what you're doing is moral. You're going 64 miles per hour because you believe it's right. However, what society says is you should be going faster so you're not impeding traffic. And so what you're doing is unethical. You can be unethical and moral. You can be immoral and ethical. You can be any combination thereof. Okay, so morality is what you actually do. Now, here's a question you might be asking yourself. Okay, should I be ethical? Should I be moral? What do I do when they conflict? My advice to you is if you've reached a point where you have to choose between ethics and morality, see if you can sidestep it. For example, Google has this Google Glass they're creating. It's awesome. I'm really excited for something that doesn't look weird. And they're actually working with the US military forces to develop sort of like a military Google Glass. Think about like a heads-up display. Like that guy's a good guy, so he's highlighted green. This person is, we're not going to say bad guy, but that person we don't know. That person is not one of my comrades. And looking over there, I need to go in this direction. I can see a little beacon flashing, which isn't a real beacon. It's a digital beacon that's just shown on your heads-up display. Now, there's some people who are like, we think this is wrong. I did not sign up at Google to be, doing this job. So the ethics of Google would say, well, you're hired by us. Do what we say. Work on this even though you think it's wrong. But their morals said, no, I don't want to do this. So what did they do? Well, luckily, Google is huge, and they had a way to work around it where they just moved them to a different project. Those who were okay with it worked at that project. Those who weren't got moved somewhere else. So you were able to follow your morals and still do your job, which is ethical. So you were able to choose something ethical and moral. You kind of sidestep that decision. However, if you can't sidestep it and you have to choose between ethics and morality, I'll give you a second little story. A good friend of mine, this is a true story too. She was an accountant for a large firm. I'm not going to tell you what kind of firm, what firm, because it's not going to out her. And one day her boss came to her and said, well, we're going to have, big meeting with the investors, and these numbers don't look good. I need you to alter the data so that we look like we're doing great this quarter. We've had a couple bad quarters. I want to show them a good thing. And she's like, no, I can't do that. And the person's like, well, you're going to do it or you're going to be fired. So the ethics of that company, which was very, very flawed, was saying that she should listen. She should do her job. Her morals though said it was wrong. She said, I can't do this. She quit. And that company eventually went under, and several people got sued and went to jail. She didn't, though. She stuck with her morals. So, my advice to you is, if you've done everything you can, and this is a decision you can't sidestep, or it's something that you can't ignore, stick with your morals. Things are only changed by those with strong morals. And it is your duty, more or less, to speak out against what you think is wrong. Think about Nazi Germany. What they did, for those who were participating at least, was considered ethical. Killing the Jews was ethical because that was what the group said was right. And there were people who fought and died to keep Germany from becoming what it became during World War II. There's some amazing movies about people who were trying to change Germany for the better. And they spoke out. If more people had spoken out, maybe things would have been different. So you need to speak out. You need to be loud. If somebody else is speaking and they're taking all the oxygen in the room, do not let their morals change things for the worst. Make sure that you are speaking out so that we can have positive viewpoints, positive beliefs be brought to the situation, and ethics can move in a good direction. Okay. So with that, remember, morals and ethics, not the same thing. And if you have to choose between the two, stick with your morals. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.